demanding to be called ambassador.
Clown show! Clown show! Clown show!
Shining Wizards Kevin had a great line. It's commensurate to Bob Cobb on Seinfeld demanding to be called Maestro.
Yeah, no, it's right in there. I don't even know.
And the Maestro would do nursing homes and stuff. He wasn't working Lincoln Center.
But do you think when somebody goes, "Hey Woody," he's like,
"That's ambassador, please."
Don, what do you think about this? This is like my walk around Commander's cap, throwback Commander's cap.
But it's got a big R on it.
Remanders.
It's the Washington Remanders.
We're not on Yes right now, so I'm holding it up to a camera. They're having problems.
Oh.
This is a radio.
You don't know.
Only,
what if at that moment they solve the problem?
I'm holding it for Don at least.
Oh, we're back. No, you're right. We're back. I apologize.
Don, this is the beautiful cursive R, though. You remember this, baby?
Sure.
It's a beaut.
Would you have a problem if they announced tomorrow that they called the Redskins again?
I would think it was an odd choice. I ran into a guy the other day at a restaurant.
You heard him?
At Outback, actually.
You were at Outback?
Really? You didn't tell us?
Did you have a bloomin' onion?
Well, that's the upsetting.
That's overrated.
It's
not overrated.
I don't care for the bloomin'. I'm an onion guy.
You're a lunatic.
I had onion rings today for lunch. I think the bloomin' onions over it. Now, does that mean
he had a box of 15. Didn't offer me one.
He didn't offer
sitting right
He didn't offer you an O-ring?
Not one.
Not one. That's tough.
No, who's offering onion rings? Fries are completely different. You have to admit.
The O-rings are so good.
But again, people think overrated is always negative. It's a fine product, but I think people going gaga over it. I'm sorry. If I got a choice of steakhouses, I'm not going to go, I'm going to go to Outback because of the bloomin' onion.
Well, I'm
going to go to Del Frisco's and eat like a gentleman.
Let me tell you something. We went there because Natalie and I both had sort of like memories of Outback. And like all of these chain restaurants, I just feel like, of course, I've gotten older and I've had more food. But they've all just quality control lost a step.
Really? I enjoy...
steaks are not bad.
It was fun. Natalie, we had a filet. It was
where I go? You know where I went on Friday? Had an old-fashioned, brought the family. Longhorn.
See,
I enjoyed that.
Now, Longhorn, I do feel a little different about in my experience. There's something about Longhorn that's like, I don't know, like the Outback and below restaurants, they've all gotten like so fast foody. Like the menu's a cartoon practically. It's hard to explain.
Oh, I get it.
The plating was so bad. Like, I used to work there. We took pride in the plating. They changed the French fries. The actual potatoes look different. It was fine. But we didn't get a bloomin' onion, and that's a mistake. And also, we didn't get the cheese fries, which are incredible. Do you know how many calories are in the cheese fries?
That's what worries me about the bloomin' onion, because I can't really enjoy it, because I know I'm clogging an artery.
It's 1,800 calories in the bloomin' onion.
Right.
Didn't get it because of that. The Aussie cheese fries, which are some of the greatest.
2,500.
2,600 calories.
You know what? If you're going to order it, you might as well.
I didn't look, but Longhorn had a nice spicy chicken nuggets that were very good.
And now, Don, just so you know, when I was morbidly obese,
weeks ago
in high school, me and my friend Christian, before Redskin games, we would go stop by the Outback. We'd pick up the Aussie cheese fries. Then we would drive through McDonald's and get 2-for-2 double cheeseburgers each. That's 2 double cheeseburgers.
So Christian was living large too?
Oh, we were large Marge, baby.
Really?
All right, guys. I don't know if you're aware, but there's a lot happening in Florham Park. The New York Jets have fired Robert Saleh.
What the F?
Let's hear. It hits different today.
Imagine if he said that to Woody.
He probably did.
He should have, well, I don't want to say it. Should have flipped the desk over. That's what I would have done.
Let's hear a little bit from Woody Johnson, Ambassador Johnson, as he demands to be called, on the firing of Robert Saleh.
This is one of the most talented teams that has ever been assembled by the New York Jets. I wanted to give this team the most opportunity to win this season. I feel that we had to go in a different direction, and that's why I did that today. This change, the change that we made today, that I made, I believe will bring new energy and positivity.
I can't do it anymore. Did you hear the start of that? Do you hear how
This is one of the most talented teams that has ever been assembled by the New York Jets.
But you don't have a lot of talented teams. I don't even know if that's saying very much. I mean, they're a talented team, but hold on, do they expect to be 5-0 through 5?
Well, I mean, they drank the Kool-Aid like a lot of fans did. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the cure-all. They're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Do you think, now, question, if Aaron Rodgers plays in like 6 more games, never plays well, then gets hurt and misses the rest of the year, can I get point guard for the year? Could they just give me the whole thing?
I would like it to happen.
It's a career god.
It's a career god.
Maybe we stop doing it.
This whole thing is so embarrassing. Is there anything else worthwhile playing from here? I don't think so, right?
Do we have any cuts to where he says it was his decision? Because he loves saying that.
Here. Did you talk to? He said.
And do we have the woman that introduced him as Ambassador Johnson?
We got to get that.
Did you talk to Joe Douglas?
I did talk to Joe Douglas about it, but in the end of the day, this was my decision and my decision alone. And, I've had enough experience doing these things. It's the first time I've done it this early, but I thought, once again, I thought and think that this will help the team, help this talented team achieve the goals that the team wants and that I want.
He's showing off about his experience, but he doesn't have good experience.
Yeah, also,
he's never had a good team.
He's one game away from being in first place. So where does he expect this team to go? To Super Bowl? Also, the follow-up question, I don't criticize journalists, especially on these sort of conference calls. It's hard to follow up. The follow-up question, okay, you spoke to Joe Douglas. Did he want to fire Saleh? And you overruled him? So we don't know that. We have to ask Bob Cobb ourselves if we see him. Is it rude for me to call him Bob Cobb?
No. Bart Scott earlier on Bart and Hahn talking about Hackett.
And I know the main guy that they probably should be pointing the finger to is Nathaniel Hackett, because that's the side of the ball that's not carrying their water. It's Nathaniel Hackett, which Robert Saleh has absolutely nothing to do with, which he tried to address the issue because he tried to hire somebody so that he can take the power away from Nathaniel Hackett. So why we pointed at Robert Saleh when it's Nathaniel Hackett, and Nathaniel Hackett is Aaron Rodgers' guy. So if it's Nathaniel Hackett, then it points right back at Aaron Rodgers, not at Robert Saleh, because he tried to make the change and say we need to make a change with the creativity. We need shifts, motions, and we need to be modernized.
Yeah.
So quit saying this.
And he was rebuked for saying that.
Exactly. So quit saying it's Robert Saleh when it's Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah. Now, we know Hackett's untouchable. And we also know that whether Rodgers had anything to do with it or not, he's not going to have a problem with Saleh getting fired. But the other thing is Woody listens to sports radio. He listens to the fans.
Oh, sure does.
He knew that this was going to be received well. But you're listening to sports talk radio today. Most Jet fans are very excited that Robert Saleh's gone. I don't know how excited they are about the team or Woody Johnson, but Woody had to know that the fans were going to receive this well. Because nobody was a Robert Saleh fan. Because, Bob can talk up who's a great coach and what quarterbacks they have. 20-36 is tough. Michael, we both have said that it's incomplete, and he hasn't had great teams. But at the end of the day, 20-36 is really tough. It's really tough to argue.
I mean, you are what your record says you are, and I don't think he's been dealt a great hand.
No,
quarterback situation has been dreadful. But you're going to be judged on 20-36.
No, did Cleveland have a good quarterback situation last year when they took an ex-Jet and got him off the mat and made the playoffs last year?
That coming into the season, he was 18-33. You could have fired him then. That's the sign of an inept organization. You fire a coach, as you've said over and over again, this doesn't work. This has never worked. And the last time it worked was because Gruden lost his job with a good team because of the stuff that he said with Washington. That's it. That's the reason. And Wischusen brought up a good point when he came up for a breath and said that, usually you don't fire somebody after 5 games that's this good of a team. So maybe this will have a different end result.
Ambassador Johnson?
Ambassador Johnson.
Ambassador Johnson?
Is it Ambassador?
Ambassador Johnson?
She leaves off am.
Ambassador Johnson?
It's pastor. He's a pastor.
No, I think she was just trying to rush through it because she realized it was ridiculous. I need to know. Listen, that's her boss, so she's probably.
He told her this.
Ambassador Johnson?
Really, honestly,
I mean, how pretentious.
It is. It's listen, it's like you said, president. That's different. You're an elected official. I mean, no, you're president.
From now on, Don, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. We've known each other forever. Please refer to me as TV voice of the New York Yankees, Michael K. It's long.
This is going to surprise some people.
Right.
What I'm about to say.
What?
The only thing that annoys me as much, and not quite as much, but that annoys me in a similar way.
Third person?
Is everyone referring to Governor Tim Walz as Coach Walz.
Oh, that's annoying.
It's getting to be a bit much, guys. He was an assistant coach on a high school team. He's not Lou Holtz, all right? Let's take off the coach.
Why, of all the coaches, why go with Lou Holtz?
I think I know why.
Why?
Because he does give off Lou Holtz vibes. He does.
Whoa,
take it how you want.
I don't think Lou Holtz would vote for Tim.
Yeah,
Walton.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either. But
there's something. It's just he was such a long-time coach.
I gotta say, Gaffigan does a tremendous job. On SNL.
What's happening right now?
The whole group of them is great.
It really is the ultimate group. And did you hear that Shane Gillis turned down Trump?
He's so good as Trump.
They offered him Trump, and he decided not to. I don't love the Trump. I don't love the Trump they have.
Oh, he's good.
You like
Austin
the guy
Johnson?
they have?
Yeah.
I think he's average at best.
Oh, he's unbelievable. He's got his cadence
unbelievable.
Down. He's got his cadence.
Oh,
it just doesn't look like
you
it
don't
at
think
all.
he's the weakest of the bunch?
No.
Come on, he's weak.
Alec Baldwin was. He wasn't.
No, not of all Trumps. Of the bunch they have now, though.
But he hasn't been on for 2 weeks, has he?
He did first week.
Just that one thing.
Is Baldwin untouchable now because of what happened? I mean,
what do you mean?
I just think they're done with it.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he wants to do it either.
All right.
Yeah,
give me your best guess. Dana Carvey. How much is he getting each week? I'm curious.
I have no idea how that would work.
I mean, Adam Sandberg or Andy Sandberg. Well, how much?
I have no idea. You know what? Okay, well, listen.
You've got connections. Find out.
I saw Keenan today.
Ask him.
I'm going to ask him, how do they do the paying for this thing?
Because there's no way they're coming in for nothing.
He said, Keenan told me today, I hope I'm not speaking out of school, but Keenan told me that, we're talking about how great Carvey is, that from the second they get there, Carvey's in Biden makeup all night, ready to go. And it's like real prosthetics. I mean, he has to put on a good amount of stuff to get to Biden. And Carvey is there until basically the show's over, ready. They need to have Carvey just wandering out on the stage during Weekend Update.
That would be funny.
I mean, this is what Dana Carvey is doing right now as Biden is like a great athlete coming back for an extra couple of years you didn't think you would get and putting up big numbers. No, this isn't with the Wizards.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe I'm completely naive, and this is not my...
You probably are.
Maybe they don't pay him anything.
I think there's a chance they don't pay him.
I mean, listen, he's 70 years...
Maybe I'll text Ari David. How much did you get for being Bernie Sanders?
But he's a forever SNL guy. You get a free trip to New York... To have that kind of an audience towards the end of your career?
Getting a free trip to New York.
No, but I'm saying is like he's not flying in on his own. It's like, hey, we'll fly into New York a couple of weeks and be on Saturday Night Live, get a huge audience. It's towards the end of your career. This could be money, and who knows? He could parlay that into different things after the election is over. I would not be surprised if he didn't get paid. Sandberg, the same thing. I don't know if he lives in New York already. He might be doing it for nothing. It's SNL.
Jim Gaffigan is a professional comedian. You think I understand, but you think he's doing it for nothing?
Gaffigan's interesting because he was never on SNL previously, but he does live in New York. But you're there, but you got to be there a lot. There are rehearsals, it's work.
I know it's work, but it's also great for your career.
You should ask Larry. Curious, when people come back for a regular guest spot like you did with Bernie. Do they pay?
Yeah, so
just curious. Don't ask how much.
Don't ask him how much he made.
Just say, do they pay? I am curious because that is an interesting question. But Dana is, oh man, Who
do you think's better, Dana or Gaffigan as Coach Walls? Because I think Gaffigan nails it. Because Dana's a little over the top.
They're all perfect, in my opinion. But Biden is the one that makes me laugh out loud.
Okay.
That's the catchphrases that he has. The second he walks on camera now and is looking around, and you know what you realize? He's doing it the same way he did Bush. In terms of that super over the top, not gonna do it, 1,000 points of light. Things that he didn't say, he makes it the thing, drives it home over. It's just wonderful.
Tremendous.
I know we're gonna get into this more as the show goes on, and we got to wrap up ENN here. But before we do, Aaron Judge, another tough night.
Why don't you lay off the guy, all right?
Let's hear from Ron on what made the Kansas City pitchers so good last night.
They're making their pitches when they needed to. We got a couple guys on in scoring position and then kind of buckled down and made some tough pitches on us. We got to come through in those situations and kind of break it open.
Do you think that you guys hit into bad luck?
Yeah, some guys are hitting the ball hard. AV hit some good balls to right field. John Birdie lined out a couple times. Big G did what he did, always hitting the ball hard. So a couple of those fall through, or a couple of those fall in. It's a different ball game, but it didn't happen. We got to show up in Kansas City.
So now he's 1 for 8, 1 for 7 with a walk,
2 walks, I think. He's been on 3 times in 2 games.
The base hit he did get yesterday was him barely beating one out. In the
it was
infield.
hard hit the third.
Hard
nice
hit
play
though,
by Garcia.
A second at bat, he almost caught one.
To right.
Kind of jumped on the first pitch, but he almost caught it. But the first at bat yesterday, he looked so nervous, man. It was 3 pitches. He was all over it.
Well, we'll talk about it more in the 5 o'clock hour. But what I've noticed is he seems off balance. You usually don't see him swing and then tumble over the plate. So I think he's very antsy.
That will do it for ENN on this Tuesday evening. Brought to you by our friends over at Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Jeep Adventure Days. Now we're going to get into all of that and much more. But first, guys, I have a message brought to you by BetterHelp.
Oh, tell us, please.
Yeah, I'm going to.